Are you struggling to either create your prices or you're really wanting to increase your prices of your products and services, but you just kind of have this icky, awkward, anxious feeling at the thought of doing that? If that's the case, then in this episode, I'm going to be giving you three mindset shifts that you can make and some awesome tips to help you to be more confident in what you're charging and pricing for your products and services. So, inside of this episode, I'm going to be talking about what might be causing that kind of resistance and slightly uncomfortable feeling when thinking about raising your prices or charging a higher price for maybe a new product that you might be putting out. I'm going to give you three simple tips that you can do to help your money mindset and feel more confident in yourself and your offer. Plus, there's a really simple thing that you can do that's really been helping me in my business, that you can help to increase your prices that might make you feel a little bit more comfortable doing so rather than making a big jump. Because we want you to kind of finally be able to charge what you really want to, not pricing things how you feel you should be, helping you to actually hit your revenue goals, and helping more of the right people. And some of those things have really helped me in my own business. And one of them is actually kind of fun. And it's actually quite exciting, kind of like a game. So I'm going to share that with you as well today. So, welcome to this episode of the Brilliantly You Business Show. Thank you so much for being here. My name is Jenny Stevens, in case we're meeting for the first time, and I help coach and train online business owners, people who are building their business from home, and help you to attract your perfect customers and clients, help you to be brilliantly you and really leverage your talents, your skills, and your knowledge to create, awesome, profitable offers that you can use online marketing methods to grow that business how you want. So I love teaching about leverage, helping you to kind of work smart, helping you to create automation and systems so that you can actually build a business around the lifestyle that you want. Plus, I love talking about the mindset piece because from my own journey, my own struggles, this is a side that I'm really passionate about helping because it makes a really deep, long lasting impact. So, lots of marketing and mindset tips is what you're going to find on my profile. So make sure that you subscribed, make sure you've got your notifications on so you get notified every time I go live or I publish a new episode and new trainings for you so I can help you inside your business. Join in with any ahas and takeaways, and I'll make sure that I go back and respond to all of your comments as soon as I can. So if you have questions along the way, please feel free to drop them in the comments and share this with anybody else that you think might find this useful. Okay, so we're talking about pricing because I love talking about money mindset. It's a really big topic and it's something that we all will face at some point. And the fact is that your money mindset is affecting your pricing strategy. So even if you are if you're doing your own products and services, if you're like a coach, if you are a service-based business, freelancer, and you're trying to come up with your own pricing, it's challenging, isn't it? I know when I first started thinking about creating my own courses and I was like, where do I start? It was really hard to come up with a price. And now kind of what 3 years on, actually no, nearly four, um there's been lessons I've learned along the way, so I want to share some of those things with you and help you to either, if you're creating something new, things that you can do to help you price those. But also I come across so many people when they feel really resistant and hesitant to increase their prices. They're like, oh, I really want to up level your revenue goal, or you want to maybe just charge more, but you feel anxious and you feel like icky at the thought of doubling your prices. So I'm going to give you some really cool things that are going to help you with that. So if any of this resonates with you, just drop it in the comments. Let me know that if there's any of this kind of, you can resonate with it and you like, oh yeah, I felt this way too. So some things I want you to think about when it comes to your money mindset. Have you thought any of these things when it comes to what you're going to price things. Or even if you're selling other people's products as an affiliate, you know, depending on what their pricing kind of levels are, if it's high ticket, do you ever feel a bit kind of icky about the pricing, or how am I going to sell this? So I want you to just kind of see if you can answer yes to ever thinking some of these thoughts before in yourself. How does she charge that? He or she? How does she charge that? I wish I could charge that much. I don't know what to charge for this. No one will buy from me if it's too expensive. I'm going to lose customers or clients if I raise my prices. So, do any of those sound familiar to things that you might have thought about in the past or right now? And there's so many more statements that I could go over. I've got a whole other episode on some things that you can recognize when it comes to some of those thoughts, and if if that's a money block. So, I'm going to put some other really useful episodes in the show notes of this week to help you out with more of that. But this is such a common thing. These are such common statements and thoughts that we think when we are thinking about raising our prices, when we're thinking about pricing things higher than maybe what we feel comfortable doing. So, I'm going to give you 3 mindset shifts that you can make that's going to help you with this. So, the first one is I want you to think about, what is it that you're really resisting? What is it that you are actually fearing? So I want you to kind of go inwards. I want you to, find yourself a nice, quiet, calm space and just think about this. Journal it if you need to. Get a pen and a notepad and just dig into that a little bit. And it might take a bit of doing. So I want you to kind of just try to think about and lean into that. What is that uncomfortable feeling? What's behind that? Are you doubting yourself? And if you're worth charging that much? Are you doubting if your product or your service or your course is actually good enough that warrants the price? That's something that I used to think so much. And start by thinking about what is causing that uncomfortable, anxious, whatever that feeling is for you. Because when you can understand a bit more about what the true meaning is behind that feeling, it's going to help you so much to be able to push past it. Okay. So, really just getting curious. I say, start writing things down. And it's a couple of simple kind of prompts. If you're kind of not quite sure how to start with that, a couple of prompts. I wrote down a couple of prompts for you. So, what you can do is get a pen and a piece of paper and write out, I can't charge high prices because, and kind of write as many answers that come up. Or if that sentence, if it needs to tweak depending on your business, tweak it. I can't sell this high price because, and just see what comes up. And you'll be surprised what does come up when you actually start writing it out. So, having some of that understanding of what you're really fearing and what's really behind that, it's not your price. It's something deeper. And it's going to really help you to be able to deal with it head on and actually break through it so you can actually start charging what you really want to, with what you are worth and what you deserve and what your stuff is actually worth charging for. So do that little exercise and see what comes up, and it will be really enlightening. The second mindset shift then, in terms of how you can help you with your pricing strategy, is price based on value and not time. Do you ever kind of feel like, if you're trying to work out, especially if you're like a service-based business, you're like, well, if it's going to take me maybe 3 hours to do this thing, maybe I could charge out £50 an hour. So therefore I'm going to charge 100, £150. If you're in that kind of price per hour thing, it's really going to limit you and cap you. So instead, when you're pricing anything, a course, a service, a digital product, like whatever it is, think about the value that you provide and the transformation that you provide. I've heard this from several people that I follow and mentors of mine, and it took me a little while to kind of really understand that. And and you might have, different offers. You might have like a real high ticket where it's you give them all of the good stuff. But then you might have some lower cost things that gives a portion of it. And so a really great tip that you can do is kind of look at the transformation that you provide. So that kind of before and after state that people are in, where before they're in that sort of frustrated, they're stuck, they're like, I need to sort out this thing, but I don't know how, to the after state, which is where they've got that full transformation. So your product or service or your offer is going to be in line with like how much of that transformation do you provide. And so when you think about the value and the transformation that you give, you really can then price things accordingly and much more effectively. That's going to help not only you with your income goals, but it's actually going to help them more as well. So the higher the transformation, the higher the price you can actually charge. So when I'm creating like my new offers, like my most recent one-to-one program that I was promoting recently, it gives a big transformation. So I put a higher price tag to it, and I could still go even bigger, but I was like, I want to start to test it out, you know. So think of the value that you're doing. So try to get out of any hourly rates that you might be stuck in. This is very much that employee mindset. So especially if you've come from a job, corporate world or something, or if you do get paid by the hour, it's easy for people to stay in that. And again, if maybe you outsource some things, we quite often look at by the hour things. But for you as a business owner, it's okay for you to create things based on value. And sometimes creating packages allow you to do that. So if you offer a service, then why not create a package and then you can price it based on that value and the transformation that you give, rather than like, so for me with my RTT, with my therapy stuff, I don't just offer single sessions. I create a package. So the very minimum that people can do with me is a 4-week package. And then up to, I've got my more in-depth kind of the therapy plus coaching, which is an awesome, like quick, fast, rapid, and really impactful package. So I've got packages, and that also helps you with your pricing. The other thing that it does is when you focus on the value and the transformation, and when you price accordingly, and you can also look around people that are similar offers, similar to you, to see what's a bit of an average of pricing. If you're really stuck, if this is like a brand new thing and you've never priced anything before, you can take a look around and also see what's kind of fairly average for that people are charging for this kind of thing. And you can always go in the middle. I sometimes do that. But the thing as well is when you charge premium pricing, you also will attract more committed people. It's easy to think that if we discount, if we lower the price, we're going to sell more. It's actually going to take you probably the same amount of effort to sell a £27 or dollar thing than it will a £500 thing or a £1,000 thing. A lot of the time it's the same effort. So why not go for the higher thing? And when you have that higher price, you actually attract more serious people. Because a low investment, and have you ever done that? Have you ever bought a course or a product or something and not really used it? I know I have. And so if it's not that much of an investment for people, sometimes they will let it slip. Whereas if it's a higher price, you get people that are more committed because they want to make sure that they soak up everything that you're giving them. They want to go through everything, get the most out of their investment. So you actually get more serious people, which actually means you get better results for your customers and clients as well. So how cool is that? So rather than attracting people that can't afford it, that might quit, or they might want refunds, or they might bitch and complain, or they might blame you and not them for their own responsibility, or they may not go through it. All of your hard work, you want people to go through it and to get results, don't you? You want them to get change, to make an impact. So when you price your things, your offers, with a bit of a premium, you actually attract more like top-notch people. All right. And it positions your offer as top-notch as well. Okay. So the number two thing is to price based on value and transformation rather than by time. You're just going to be stuck in that trading time for money. And we don't want that. When you're building an online business, that's the beauty of it, is you don't need to do that. The third mindset shift then to help you to be able to price your products and services with confidence and have a bit of a pricing strategy that's going to help you is to trust yourself and know that you are worth it. I bang on about self-trust a lot because this was generally one of my biggest transformations in the last couple of years, in the last year mostly. So, at the end of the day, you are here for a reason. You started your business for a reason. You had an idea that you wanted to do something, whether it was you just wanted to make money online and you found various different ways to do it, or you were like, I love doing this and I want to do this myself. Like maybe you've taken a skill that you learned about in a job and you do it going on your own. Or like me, it was started out as a side hustle, which turned into opening my whole eyes to a whole other world. And I fell in love with teaching people. I fell in love with sharing things that were working for me in my business. And that's then the route that I went into. And then I fell in love with the mindset piece, with all of those limiting beliefs and getting through it. So I added that into my kind of portfolio as well. So whatever you decided, whatever kind of brought you here, you're here for a reason. I want you to keep that in mind, that you started this business. So if you're doubting if you're worth charging a higher price, if you're doubting if you're good enough, if you know enough, are you experienced enough? Have you got enough results? Does any of this sound familiar? The simple shift that you can do is to actually look for some proof. So if you really are like, oh, I really don't know, and it is hard when you're new and you're maybe just creating something for the first time, a lot of doubt does creep in. But a really cool thing that you can do is I want you to look for proof. Helps to not proof that you're not good enough, that argues that fact. And sometimes that's just a case of looking in the mirror. If you haven't worked with anybody yet, that's totally fine. You've probably got some results. You've probably hit some target that you created. You've gained some knowledge and experience and expertise by learning and implementing things. So you can be your own proof, and that's okay. And sometimes we're the best case studies because we can only talk from our experience. We can't talk for other people. We can get reviews and testimonials from our clients and our customers, but we can be our best testimonial. So look at for proof of work that you've already done with where you've helped people. Have you had any great feedback? Have you had somebody leave a comment on one of your videos or a post that says, "Thank you so much, this really helped me. I needed to hear this today." Have you had people tell you? So anything that you can find, grab it, screenshot it, save it into a folder, whatever you need to do so you can always remind yourself, I've helped somebody. Even if it's one person, it does not matter. The number of people is regardless. Or if it's not, look at what you have achieved. What have you done? And what have you learned? And what have you actually, what have you experienced yourself? And lean into that. And if it's a new offer, Just trust yourself and know that it's a phase, it's a testing phase. So my new program, I'd never done it before. So, I told my clients, hey, we're going to build this thing together. I want your feedback. We can kind of tweak and adjust as we go. And that's okay. Some people love to be part of that creation process. And you can tweak as you go. So just know that everything is a test. And without putting something out there and trying it out, you won't know. So don't get too caught up on, oh, well, I don't know if this is going to work. Trust yourself. Trust that you can adapt and pivot and shift and transition and calibrate and course correct and whatever needs to be done for you to get there. But you've got to trust yourself that you have enough inside of you right now to put that offer out. Another little tactical thing that you can do that helps with this as well is you can add in like an introductory price. So if you really kind of are like, oh, I don't know, I really like doing this now rather than giving like a discount. It's kind of like a discount, but it's not. It's like I'd like to do an introductory price. And it might be for a limited number of people, it might be for a limited amount of time, and then you can then increase it. So it's a great way to get people moving. It's a great people for those people that maybe your price that you'd like to charge is a little bit out of reach. So doing a introductory price gives a bit of scarcity as well, and urgency to actually get people to take action. And just make sure that you do actually put your price up if you say you're going to. So it's really effective. So rather than discounting, which can sometimes devalue what you're doing, it gives people that opportunity to kind of be in that beginning phase and help you with that beta test, or get in at like an early bird. It could be an early bird introductory price. It's a great way of sort of trying out as well what people are willing to pay. So this self-trust is huge. So trust yourself, trust your knowledge, trust your expertise, and let go of any perfectionism. And if you find yourself resisting putting that offer out, then really working on that self-trust and your intuition on a deeper level is going to really help you. And that's what I did. And it massively helped me in my business. So we can chat if you want some further help with that. I can help you with that. So I'm going to give you a bonus tip now. So those are the 3 mindset shifts that you can take. So the first one was looking into and leaning into what is it you're actually resisting, and what is it you're actually fearing? What's that uncomfortable feeling? And kind of leaning into that to see what might it be. The second mindset shift was about pricing based on value and transformation rather than time, like an hourly rate. Focus on what the transformation you provide with that offer. If it's a low cost thing, or if it's a mid cost thing, or if it's a high ticket, doesn't matter. Look at what transformation you provide. And then the third thing is to trust yourself and know that you are worth it and you have enough in you right now to charge what you want to. Okay. So, bonus tip for you, because this has been something that's been really fun for me. And I kind of discovered this from a couple of people, and I love it. And it's kind of like a bit of a game. It's quite cool. So if you have already got, products and services out there that you charge for, and you really want to increase your prices, but you're sweating and you're like, oh, I just don't know. And if someone, maybe you've got a coach or a mentor saying, you are massively undercharging yourself, you need to up your prices right now. I'm in group coaching programs, and my mentor tells that to people all the time. And so one of this tip is really helpful. So if you're in that space and you really are like, ugh, something that you can do is you can increase your prices incrementally. So you can gradually increase them. So one thing that I learned, I can't remember who I learned it from, but this is what I do now in my business, is I sell 5. So for every 5 customers or clients I get, I then increase the price. So you could increase it by 10%, 20%, something small that makes you feel a bit more comfortable, but still helps you to get there and increase. If you have kind of current clients who are on like a retainer, again, you can give them notice, or you can even like lock people in on a certain price. But it's okay if you're going to say, okay, my prices are actually going up, so I'm going to give you like a couple of months notice, but just know that from October or November or from January, the prices are going to go up. You don't have to keep your current clients or people in a membership or whatever at a certain price. You get to decide. And so then once you've got those, then the next round of 5 customers or clients, then you can increase again. So I keep a little table in my notes app with the pricing pieces. And then when I get a new client or a customer, I'm like, oh, yay. So I can add them in and I'm like, oh, I've only got 3 to go, or I've got 1 to go. And then I can raise my prices again. It's actually quite fun. So this is what I do. So say for every 5, I then will do an increase. And so it's been a great way to ease your way into getting used to raising your prices, but also it helps you to then see, oh, people are willing to pay this. So it helps again that confidence and proving that you're good. Like, this is good. People will pay it regardless. So like I say, it's really good fun. It becomes a bit of a game, and now I'm like on the countdown. I've got 3 to go of my recent offer until I can put it up. So I'm like, yay, come on. And it actually helps me want to tell more people about it. So it kind of does, it's like a win-win. It does a couple of things in one go. So if that sounds cool, say yes in the comments. If that sounds like a fun little tactic, little idea that you can do to increase your prices. So all of these things, if you can really make these shifts, and they're small little things, but they will help your mindset, your money mindset. They will help you to be more confident in yourself. You've got some actionable things that you can actually do today. Go ahead and increase your prices by 10%. Go and do it. Just do it and be okay with it. And just know that at the end of the day, you're running a business. And if you were to look at somebody else who was maybe doing something similar to you, or if someone ever says, oh, I'm charging this for this service, and if you're thinking, wow, that's really low, exactly. We all have the same feeling, but it shows that there is a money mindset issue. So these are some things that you can take away today and implement yourself. And if you want more help, I'm going to put resources in the show notes for you for your money mindset. So I've got a couple of resources that I want to tell you about. The one thing is I love a bit of manifesting. Who loves a bit of money manifesting? That didn't come out then. So I've got a great free checklist for you, and a cheat sheet, sorry. And so it's a free download that you can go and download. It's got my 13 plus magnetic money manifesting tips. And so there's some things in there, again, when it thinks about your relationship with money, how you talk about money, how you ask for money. There's some things in there that are really going to help you. So if you'd like to get that, go and check out the show notes that will be in the description of this video or this podcast or this blog. Check around for the link to that, and you can go and download that for free. It's totally free. And if you want to dive more into your money mindset and you think, I really think I do have some money blocks that are standing in the way, then I've got a self-hypnosis audio package that you can get access to. It's called my Money Mindset Cleanse. So it's a audio packet download that you can do, and it's actually going to walk you through. It's a self-hypnosis that I created. So you can actually then discover what your relationship with money is, where your feelings and thoughts about money come from, and helps you to reframe those beliefs around money in your mind. And when you do this, you then can open yourself up to be able to receive more money, to keep hold of it, to charge more, to talk about money more easily. And there's so much more that goes into it that I did a whole episode on this. So I'll put resource to the other blog posts and other episodes that will be useful if you're interested in more of this. So this money mindset cleanse is going to be awesome for you. And when you can work on your money mindset and not just do it from a surface level, this is going into your subconscious and dealing with that deep rooted belief that you have around money. We all have created our money beliefs from when we were children, our surroundings and stuff. So this helps you to uncover that. So again, if you're interested in that, check around this video and in the show notes for the link where you can go and get instant access to that. And you can start going through that. You can download the audio and get help from that. And that will really, really help you. So those are my biggest resources and tips for you today. So what were your kind of takeaways from today? I'd love to hear if there's anything new that you thought, oh, I hadn't thought about that before, that will help you with that. So do share what your takeaways from this episode were. Would love to hear them, and say grab those resources. They'll really, really help you. And if you've got any questions or you want to discuss anything further, feel free to reach out to me. Happy to help and see how I can help you with your money mindset and your relationship around money, and also the tactical side of things as well with your business. So thank you so much for joining me today. Do share the love. If you think anybody else might find this useful, tag them, share this with them, share it on your profiles, wherever you need to. And make sure that you are subscribed and you've got your notifications on so you get notified when we go live again and when our next episode drops. Hope you have an amazing rest of your day and an awesome weekend. And I'll see you soon. Take care. Bye.